Welcome, everybody, to the very first edition of This Week on SmackDown EOD33 Recap. I'm the Underdogs 33. I'm your host. I figured basically, since we do live streams of Monday Night Raw, NXT, and now Evolve, we're no longer doing the Evolve recaps, so we're not doing a live stream for SmackDown. So I figured we'll do a recap of SmackDown because, yes, it is like 3 hours long on a Friday, and I can't live stream every wrestling event. So let's get started with the first thing that happened. All right, up first was LA Knight entering the ring, basically recapping his feud with Seth Rollins and his group that still, as it's recording, does not have a faction name. But basically, it all started at Money in the Bank when Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker came in, interfered in this match. So he interfered in Braun Breaker's qualifying match for King of the Ring, and then he let me see what happened. I think then they interfered in his King of the Ring qualifier match. So then he went ahead and interfered in Bronson Reed's qualifier match. So this is big thing, and he pretty much says he knows how it's going to end, which I'm pretty sure we all knew how this was going to go. The only way to stop this for the faction messing with him is to take out their leader, Seth Rollins. So he called out Seth Rollins. Paul Heyman came to the ring, basically saying that he likes LA Knight, but you better get out of there or something bad's gonna happen to him tonight. So then you see Reed and Breaker show up a little bit later, not later, but like during the same segment they showed up, everything. And I guess what's his name? The GM. Oh, Aldis made it official. They gotta have Bronson Reed versus LA Knight. There was some good stuff that LA Knight was saying and everything, but I'm not gonna recap because we're trying to keep it short and condensed. But basically, that's what went on. So, all right, let's go to the next thing that happened, which was the very first match of the card, which was the very first match was Alexa Bliss versus Asuka for the Queen of the Ring semifinals. So basically, whoever wins this match goes on to be in the finals. That will be next week. This was a really good match. They were able to counter each other's moves and stuff. Asuka looked like she's back. They were pretty much saying how Asuka, not that she might have rust, but because you're in a fatal four-way before, that it was kind of easier for you to get away with like hiding some of your injuries or whatever the case may be. But one-on-one, you can't do all of that. So, what are they calling her move now? The Empress Impact or something like that. Basically, like a little, like the hypnotic or whatever that she does. I think it's called like the Empress Impact. I can't remember the exact name of it. But yeah, I really like the match. Alexa Bliss shows like yeah, she's pretty good and everything, but I should have known that Asuka was going to end up winning this match because who's the title holder? Io Sky. And I forgot, I have to keep using, I have to say Miss Bliss because if I say her first name, my device goes off. We're gonna actually leave that in the video. So yeah, form stablemate of Damage Control. So it actually makes sense if Asuka ends up winning it all, in my opinion. I do know on Raw there's a qualifier semi-final match with Jade Cargill and Roxanne Perez. I'm actually thinking Roxanne's gonna win that match, but you know that's for another day since this is a SmackDown review recap show. All right, so like I said, it was a really good match. A lot of near falls, and it was good. I'm glad both ladies are back on the show. All right, so next thing that happened was, all right, after the commercial break, it was like right after the match. You had Bliss. See, I almost made my device go off. So Bliss was in the back, and she ran into Chelsea Green and the Secret Hervis. Yes, I said that correct. Hervis, not Service. Hervis. Then Charlotte Flair showed up, basically saying that it should have been her that was in the match, and she would have probably won if Alba Fire was supposed to tap out, but she wasn't even supposed to be in the match because it was supposed to be Chelsea Green. She should have tapped out, so she challenged Chelsea Green to a match on this episode. Alexa Bliss was like, thanks, but she didn't need her help. And then Charlotte looked at her and was like, that's cute. She wasn't trying to help her. So that was a little segment in the back. So, all right. Next thing that happened was Kit Wilson from Pretty Deadly was going to have a singles match against Aleister Black. Kit Wilson's already in the ring. Aleister Black come in his whole entrance and stuff. And as he's walking to the ring, Ron Killing shows up. Runs past Aleister Black, gets to the ring, and just started beating the hell out of Kit Wilson. For no reason. He channeled his inner Stone Cold Steve Austin from Sunday Night Heat when Austin was stunning everybody for a whole hour. So Jamie Noble was able to talk him down, tell him like, calm down. But Ron Killings just wanted John Cena to show up like right then and now. Aleister Black was just looking at him like, this man has lost his mind. They get to the back and Ron Killings is there. Aleister Black walks up to him and was like, what are you doing getting into my business? And Ron Killings was like, hey, it wasn't personal or anything like that. Then David Priest came out. David Priest was like, hey, he used to beat up people because he was angry. He said, in fact, they used to be R-Truth. They used to beat up, which was, if y'all remember, R-Truth was sort of kind of part of Judgment Day, but not really, about a year ago. So he said, hey, David Priest, like, you need to focus all that anger on John Cena tonight, and because they're supposed to have a match. And after he wins, they can go out and celebrate. So they were like, cool. Aleister Black was, he already left by this point, but yeah, Aleister Black, I think something's going to happen with Aleister Black and R-Truth, or Aleister Black and Damian Priest because of this. It's my theory, that's what I think is going to happen. Alright, so next thing on the card was Cody Rhodes shows up. Cody Rhodes gets to the ring, does all his Cody Rhodes entrance stuff. Right before he's going to talk, Jey Uso shows up. Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes have a match on Monday for the men's semifinals. So Jey Uso came and talked to him, basically saying that that's his brother. They've been in the trenches together. They're both they were tag team champions together. If y'all remember that, the whole inebriated press conference they had, they were tag champs together at one point. But they've known each other forever. They were both high on the mountaintop. They fell down. He says that it's not going to be anything personal, it's just business. But come Monday, when they have their match, it's going to be 4 letters, 1 word. Because he's not looking to be second place, basically. So then Sami Zayn shows up. Sami Zayn, which was interesting because all these guys are like, Sami Zayn's on the cusp becoming a main eventer. He's right there. I think Sami Zayn should get a championship run in the next year. I don't know if it's going to happen though. He basically said, yeah, both of them, they got to tell their stories. Jey Uso also said that they basically both got to finish their stories at WrestleMania. Jey Uso said, Sammy was like, he's never had the title before yet. Like they have, and blah blah blah. He's gonna do like whatever it takes, blah blah blah. Randy Orton shows up because Randy Orton and Sami Zayn have a semi qualifying match on this episode of SmackDown. So he basically said, look, he loves Cody like a brother, like he says before. He said, but he will do whatever he has to do to get past them. Told Jey Uso basically it's not gonna be 4 letters, it's gonna be 3 letters, 1 move. And Sami Zayn, he basically hyped up Sami Zayn and said, yeah, he's gonna be great. He's gonna be a world champion one day. It's not gonna be at SummerSlam though, because the winner of the King of the Ring contest, the men get to pick whoever they're gonna fight at SummerSlam for the title. The women get to pick whoever they want to fight for the title. That's the new prize for winning King of the Ring, which is nice. You have King of the Ring before SummerSlam, automatic title shot. So you basically automatic number 1 contendership match if you win King of the Ring. So that was it. Then we go to the commercial, and then, of course, since they're already in the ring, you already know what's about to happen, which was, of course, now it's time for the men's semifinal qualifying match, which was Randy Orton and Sami Zayn. This was a really good match. It was really good, but did not end the way I thought it was going to end. They kept counting each other's moves. Randy Orton poked Sami Zayn in the eye. Sami Zayn poked Randy Orton in the eye because it's like, so both men were basically going to do whatever they had to go do to win this match. Sami Zayn at one point feigned a leg injury when he did a Halua kick, so he could try to get a pin real quick on Randy Orton. That was pretty cool. Randy Orton was going for the punt at one point. Sami Zayn smartly rolled out the ring so he could get the punt. They both men used the announce table a couple times. It was really big back and forth, but in the end, Randy Orton actually won clean 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring, and I really thought this was going to be Sami's time to win King of the Ring, but I forgot where they're going to be at. And now that I think about where Night of Champions is going to take place at, which is where the finals for King and Queen of the Ring is going to be at, it kind of makes sense that Randy Orton won and everything. So that leads me to believe that, even though this is a prediction, because Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes, like I said before, they have their qualifying match on Raw. The winner faces Randy Orton in the finals at Night of Champions. And I think now it's going to be Cody Rhodes that's going to end up beating Jey Uso, only because they're going to Night of Champions. Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes are the bigger names, so makes sense. So not mad at it. I was just a little disappointed. I'm like, Sami Zayn, if you're watching this, you're going to get your due. You're going to get your due. I believe in you. You're going to be champion one day. So, all right. Like I said, SmackDown's like 3 hours. So next thing that happened on the card was Nia Jax ends up in the ring. She's about to cut a promo, basically talk about how Tiffany Stratton befriended her, benefited off of her, then stabbed her in the back. That she was ungrateful and blah blah blah. So, oh, by the way, I say blah 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 because it's more stuff she says. No, I actually really like Nia Jax. Then Tiffany Stratton's music hit while she was in mid sentence, and the way she did her eye roll was crazy. She's like, like, I can't believe this lady's here. Tiffany Stratton came in talking mess, basically saying that, maybe she's just better than Nia Jax, and Nia Jax just can't accept it. So, which was also a little bit weird. She said she's already talked to Nick Aldis, and there's a match between her and Nia Jax next week for the title. It's going to be a last woman standing match. So, Nia Jax decided just to go beat her down right then and there. Gave her 2 leg drops. Then what did she do? Oh, I think she was talking. She left the ring and she started talking ish to the announce team. And then Naomi, Miss Money in the Bank, shows up, and she was going to cash in her stuff. And right as she was about to cash it in, Nia Jax grabbed her by the legs and pulled her out the ring. I was like, no, because basically she's got a title shot against Tiffany next week. So if you cash it on her, that kind of negates all that. Then Naomi was telling her to get out of her face, which is kind of funny because they're kind of like family and everything, with the Rock connection and everything. So eventually Tiffany was able to, Naomi kept trying to get back in the ring. Nia Jax kept taking her down. So then eventually when she tried to get back in the ring, Nia Jax just knocked Naomi onto Nia Jax, and then she stood tall stuff. So that's the match for next week's SmackDown Women's Championship match, last woman standing at night, the day before Night of Champions. So they're not going to be on Night of Champions, which is weird because it's next week and we really don't know a lot about the card yet. All right, that was it for that segment. All right, next thing that happened was, next match was Charlotte Flair versus Chelsea Green, which to me was a really good match. People forget just how good of a wrestler Chelsea Green is. They think of her more as a comedic character, kind of like what Sami Zayn kind of used to be like. Even though we all know he can go, but Chelsea Green and Charlotte Flair I thought they had a really good match. Charlotte, what'd she do? What's the name of the move she did? No, was it natural selection? She did some move or whatever, and I was shocked that Chelsea Green kicked out. Even Charlotte was shocked, but Chelsea Green had a good showing, even though there's no spoiler. We all know she's going to lose this match against Charlotte. But at the end of the match, the Secret Hervis started beating down Charlotte. But then who shows up to save Charlotte? Miss Bliss, little Miss Bliss. comes in, saves the day. Then she looks at Charlotte. Charlotte looks at her. She looks at her. She looks at her. Anyway, Bliss extended the hand, shake Charlotte's hand. Charlotte didn't really even know who saved her at first, and then she just kind of looked at Bliss and just walked off like, I don't want your help. I don't need your help. I don't even like you. So that was the end of that. But the match itself was pretty good. A lot of near falls and everything. Chelsea Green is so underrated. And Charlotte, she did actually need this win because Charlotte hasn't won anything in a while a little bit. She still is the queen, and you still got to build her up. She's on this weird babyface thing, but what I think they're trying to do, I think they're going to probably do something with these tag titles. And maybe Bliss and Charlotte become a tag team. Not the craziest thing I've ever heard before, but speaking of tag teams, okay, next thing that happened, I believe, was... Alright, the thing I thought that happened didn't happen yet. Or maybe it happened, I must have missed it. But they had JC Mateo, he was taping himself up. Solo came in the back, basically telling him, hey, stay in the back. He's got to handle this thing with Jacob Fatu, because remember on... Well, if you don't remember, last week on SmackDown, Jacob Fatu said, like he's on his own, blah, blah, blah now. Then Solo was like, look, even after the stuff you pulled at Money in the Bank, costing me the title, I can forgive you and everything. You just have to say these words. I love you, Solo. So that's all he's going to do, and he'll take him back. But if he don't, he brought him into the WWE, and he could take him out. So basically, that was happened last week, but this week, Solo just telling JC Mateo to stay in the back. He's going to go in the ring. He's going to handle it by himself. And then that leads us to, obviously, the next thing, which is, all right, Solo's in the middle of the ring. He comes out to the middle of the ring by himself. He's basically like, look, I'm out here by myself. Told Jacob to come out there. He was pouring his heart out to him and everything, saying that, he don't got nobody else but Jacob. We know he's got few brothers on the show tonight, but I guess said he needs Jacob, all that good stuff. That Jacob was basically like saying, look, yeah, you brought me here and everything, but you were just using me so you could stay tribal chief. You were using me so you could bring gold to the family. So using him for fame and stuff. So he basically said maybe he wasn't the one that changed. The only thing that changed, he got the U.S. title, and maybe Solo's the one that changed. So he took the strap off, put the strap there, and said, if you want it, you're going to have to fight me for it. And Solo was just looking like, what? Talk some more mad-ish. Solo tried to give him the Samoan spike, but Jacob grabbed his hand, laid him out. That's where JC Mateo came in. Then they stomped a mud hole into him. Then Jimmy, for some reason, decides to show up and everything. He could save Jacob, even though Jacob's been taking out Jimmy for months now. It would have been nice if Jimmy would have been like, he kind of wants the title too, the U.S. title, because at some point you could tell they were trying to angle in Jimmy Uso to be the United States champion or vie for it, but then Jacob got like super duper hot, nuclear hot. So yeah, they just kind of looked at each other, blah blah blah. So, but it was a good segment. Like Solo is, I forgot. I was gonna say this. I'm like, oh, Solo should be an actor. I forgot. Solo has been in. He has small parts in movies. I've seen it before. Solo has range, which I like. And he basically was. Oh, I forgot to say it. He said basically it's like, even if you don't say those 4 letters and everything, I'll still take you back and everything. He said, I'm just saying, public, that I love you, Jacob. He said, I'm gonna say it loud and proud. He spoke to the crowd and everything. I was like, okay, it was nice, but we knew it was gonna happen. So, all right. After that, next thing on the card. All right, next match on the card is the aforementioned Bronson Reed versus LA Knight that was set up earlier in the night. So you had Bronson Reed, Breaker, they're already in the ring. Paul Heyman accompanying them. But LA Knight's not that. He's not that dumb. He didn't come in through the entrance. He came in through the crowd, took out Braun Breaker, then jumped in the ring to go face Bronson Reed. And it was a good match. It was a good match for a while, but all they wanted to do was hurt LA Knight. They didn't care about winning. So eventually, Braun Breaker gets in there. interferes in the match with a spear. I think he speared him like 3 times. I think he got 3 tsunamis on him. It was crazy. LA Knight will be lucky if he goes anywhere like the next 2 weeks. But yeah, this furthers the storyline, and I have a prediction. I believe at Night of Champions, Seth Rollins is going to try to cash in the belt, and it's going to be LA Knight's going to be the one that's going to stop it from actually happening. Like, I don't think he's going to lose the briefcase, but he's going to stop him from cashing it in. I think just because Seth is the orchestrator, and that way that also gets Seth out of the way. He can feud with LA for a while, get him kind of out of the title picture. So yeah, so it was good. It was smart, but I know some people's gonna be like another interference and everything. But I'm like, they called it. So LA Knight won by disqualification. So all right. Whew. Like I said, SmackDown's pretty long. All right. Next thing that happened. All right. Back from a commercial break, and Jacob Fatu cuts a promo in the back. It says the man Nick Aldis has made it official, or basically said the man made it official. At Night of Champions, it will be Jacob Fatu versus Solo Sikoa for the United States Championship at Night of Champions, and he said he's gonna dog walk Solo's ass. So I like the catchphrase and everything. I like the way his delivery of it and everything. So yeah, so that came back after the commercial break. Then after that, I believe it's your main event of the evening. But before we get to that, there was one thing that I guess I forgot to mention. I alluded to it earlier. You had Michin, B-Fab, and Jade Cargill watching the Asuka and Miss Bliss match, and they basically asked Jade, basically what does she think, because Jade has her semi-qualifying match against Roxanne next week. So she said, yeah, Roxanne, she's got potential. This isn't like the land of like potential or something like that. So she said this is for like the now. So she's gonna be a champion. She's not gonna when she wins, she's just not gonna win Queen of the Ring. She's gonna reign like a queen. So we'll see. We'll see. I just forgot to mention that that happened earlier, and I thought it was kind of cool. Do I think Jade's winning next week? We'll go ahead and say you would think she would be, but I don't think she will. I think Roxanne's going to beat her, and I think it's going to be Asuka versus Roxanne. It could, you know what? I take that back. Yeah, because I know, one, I believe Jade got, she's going to be doing a movie soon, so that's the reason why. But you know what? Now that I think about it, no, she probably will win, because it's going to be at Night of Champions. Like, I don't think she'll win Night of Champions. I think Asuka will beat Jade Cargill at Night of Champions. I forgot the location, so they're going to have all the big people over there. So I think that's what's going to happen. Even though it would have been cool if it had, if Roxanne became Miss Money in the Bank, which I could actually see happening. But anyway, all right. Now on to the main event of the evening, which was John Cena versus Ron the Truth Killings. Ron Killings didn't come to play. He did not come to play at all. They let John Cena get his intro off and everything like that. The Never Seen 17, all that stuff. But the minute that bell rang, Truth wasn't playing. It was a good little match. You knew, okay, John Cena is still good, but he doesn't. I guess maybe they don't want to make sure he doesn't get injured, whatever the case may be. But his matches aren't really that long. You're lucky you even got a match on TV with John Cena. So, but it was decent for what it was supposed to be. R-Truth technically won the match by disqualification because John Cena took the belt and hit him in the face with it. Like, basically, John Cena was gonna walk away and blah blah blah, just leave. R-Truth was there. He took the belt, hit R-Truth, so disqualification because it is what it is. And then he's gonna hit R-Truth again. Then all of a sudden, CM Punk's music hit. Now Cena gets back in the ring, picks out CM Punk, and then he gets a table. The table was funny because the table had these two big Slim Jim stickers on the table, which was funny. He put the table in the ring and he put CM Punk through the table. Now here is where it gets interesting. sorry, my laptop is making this loud noise, and I don't feel like redoing this video. What happened? Oh, Cena dropped a pipe bomb because obviously he was he wasn't gonna do anything too crazy, but he basically said like he doesn't hate CM Punk. He's jealous of CM Punk because CM Punk is basically telling people lies and people believe him. He said, how can he be the best in the world if he's the greatest of all time? He said, Punk, you're not the voice of the voiceless. It's like, you're a millionaire now, despite yourself. He's not against TKO. He's Mr. TKO. It was a good promo. He says, what you did, you used to keep people down and everything. Then this was the part, I guess, that was pipe bomb light, because he started naming names. Claudio Castagnoli, who y'all may know as Claudio in WWE. He's in AEW now. Nick Nemeth, which he's in AEW. Oh no, he's on TNA now. Y'all might know him as Dolph Ziggler. And Matt Cardona. I was like, wow. He named all those names. They said that CM Punk tried to hold down. Matt Cardona is currently the indie god, or maybe because I think Shotzi Blackheart is taking the reins of the indie god now. But yeah, y'all might know. Well, most people know him as Matt Cardona now. But back in WWE days, he was Zack Ryder. Woo woo woo, you know it. That's what he used to do. But it was good. I really liked the way they closed out the show. I guess they still had some minutes left, like almost like 3 minutes left. He said, "You guys say you can keep the last 2.5 minutes. You don't need them." I thought that was a good line. And I looked at my watch and I was like, "Oh wow, it is almost 11 o'clock. It really is like about 2:58 right now." I'm like, yeah, it was pretty good. Cena's good on the mic. He's good on the mic. He said that Punk has his 5 promos of Doom, just like Cena has the 5 moves of Doom. It was cool. It was like, I liked it for what it was. I think that's what everybody's gonna be talking about like over the weekend is John Cena's promo. But yeah, that's it for me. That is the review for the SmackDown for June 20th, 2025. I forgot to mention the date at the beginning of the video. Alright, like I said, this is a new segment. Let me know what I did right, what I did wrong, what y'all like to see later. I figure I'd go back old school again and use my my camera phone to shoot the videos like I used to do for Evolve. But yeah, so hopefully this will be a new weekly segment because I know I get y'all some SmackDown news. Alright, as always, hope you all have a good day, good night, and a pleasant tomorrow. Make sure you stay kind to one another. Make sure you wash your hands. But like what I always say, you should be doing those things anyway. I'm the underdogs33, and I'm out. I'll see you guys on the next video. Oh, I gotta do it like this because when I do this, that's the V for Vanity Project from Evolve. Alright, keep plugged. Alright, talk to you guys later.